God, it has been a while, hasn't it? Alright. So, just gotta make sure everything is all good. Make sure it's... If I could get the game to show up. There we go. Alright. So, I'd be playing old Love Sam tonight. It's a horror game. I know it has themes in self-harm and obsession. So, you know, keep that in mind. But, without any more stalling, I think it's time to get into it. Okay. It's a pencil. Say less. It's locked. Ah, well, I'm a vampire, I guess. Longest toothbrush known to mankind. Alrighty. What did I just hear? What's this? I know what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm just not doing it yet. Okay, well, this house is pretty damn boring, so. My dirty little secrets. Read on to move on. The last human on Earth was sitting alone in a room. There came a knock on the door. I've never cared for keeping a diary, but now seems to be a good time to start keeping one. Why? Because after all these years, I just can't forget about what used to be the light of my life. I know, overdramatic much. Knowing Brian Colmer as much as I did is bound to leave that big chunk of residue. This is definitely not the best drawing I've ever seen. Let's just say this diary is what's left of our relationship. Drama. 3 years. No. 3 years have passed, and the world around me is still the same. Well, except for me. I look like a mummified corpse. What would B say if he saw me again? B left Rosen Peak in the moment he graduated high school to go to a fancy college of his dreams. Since then, I could only rely on my memories of him to keep on going. I wonder if it was the same for him, too. You know, I'm gonna be honest, I fail to believe this old B character is that obsessive. When you love someone, his whole existence just gets etched into your brain. So no matter how much B changes, I'll always know it's him. But will B do the same for me? I love B, but he is not the most likely person to remember stuff. Feels like I'm reading a diary of, like, a middle school teenage girl. Obsessing over her crush. It's been 3 years, so it's possible he did forget about me. Or am I giving him too little credit? So here comes the big question. Will he remember me? No. Yes. No. You know, I might need the pencil. Who am I kidding? Like any of it matters now. Brian is a great guy and all, but after all this time, I can't be sure of anything. I just hope our time together was meaningful enough to him. Enough to make him cherish even the darkest ones. It's starting to read like some kind of, murder memorandum. Joe's Diner Burger Pancake. 5 stars. Home of the best pancakes in the world. Brian Colmer. Speaking of cherishable memories, I wonder what happened to Joe's Diner. Used to be my favorite place, naturally, because it was B's favorite place to begin with. That's weird. If there were 2 things that were too good for Rosen Peak, it would be Brian and Joe's Diner. You know, I'm not gonna, like, should talk your relationship or anything, but that's just a little odd. Like, being this obsessed over someone cannot be healthy. Things were so much easier back then. B would just go, hey, and I would be like, hi. Nothing but hanging out after that with some occasional visit to Colton Hill. We had such a good thing going. Huh. Will he remember my voice? Will he say hey to me again? Did time already ruin our moments? Brr. What the fuck? Calling and just breathing into the microphone. Get out of here. I just wanted to say hello every time I called him, but what I want to do and can do are 2 different things. Just enjoying B's presence on the other side of the phone was satisfying too, in a way, though. Hey, he was so eager to know who was calling him in the middle of the night. Hi. I wish I could sneak into people's minds. I wish I could sneak into people's minds, look beyond their eyes, just by staring. If I had that power, I would never stop looking through B's window. That's a little weird. Can I get up? Let me up. Yeah, you weird MF. Now see, I don't know if I'm going crazy, but that paper wasn't there before, right? Okay, let's see. August 21st, 2006. Can I mention that this paper looks like it's been through hell? Like, I don't know what year it is in the game, but looks like it could be at least 2010. It looks like there's mold on the paper. That as a debut outfit, I admire your confidence, Sam. And with that, my whole high school years were probably over. First day of new school, and the new girl in town got classified as undesirable by what seems to be the queen of Wainwright Academy. I spent the last night telling myself, confidence, Sam, confidence. But looks like I should have just spent that time picking up better clothes. I try not to care too much about blending in, but these kids already look at me like I'm a candy handed out by strangers. The package seems fine, but you know there's something fishy in there. Judging from their whispers, I could figure out they didn't know Wainwright even accepted transfers. Some kind of private school, sounds like. It's been less than 24 hours since I moved to Rosen Peak, and I already enjoy sitting alone in my dorm room more than attempting to socialize with people who call me a city girl. Well, screw you too, hillbillies. Besides, I decided not to force myself into making friends after how my old friends decided to turn on me. I just hope these guys leave me alone at least. Keeping a diary sure can help keep things together in all the chaos. I haven't kept a diary since kindergarten, but this seems like a good time to restart. Kudos to Mom for giving me that advice. Now entering Rosen Peak. Oh shoot, almost forgot calling her. Write you later, diary, my only true friend. Love, Sam. Will B remember the moment he came into my life? For me, it is as clear as the moment he left. So clear that the downfall of our relationship still cuts deep into my heart. There's something wrong with this lady. Yeah. Life in Rosen Peak was a jar filled with bittersweet candies. Not exactly tasteful, but I learned to enjoy it. Nevertheless, it's where my heart lies. What? Those words flashed before I flipped the page. Wrote a poem in B's memory. He used to struggle with Miss Lasley's poetry practices, even if he didn't have to try that hard. Miss Lasley always told us, poetry is not about using fancy words. Let your feelings do all the work. Well, this is how I feel. I stand at his doorstep, heart filled with desire. He rushes down the stairs, heart red like fire. But before his spirit can soar, first he must answer the door. Knock, knock. No? Well, I think it has decided for me. Oh, whoops. That's not what I meant to press. There ain't nobody here. August 22nd, 2006. Do you guys not take care of your papers? Why do all of them look like they've been in, like, an old musty cabinet for the last, like, year? Stacy is a classic. FYI, she's the one who talked crap about my favorite vintage shirt. It's like she jumped straight out of a cheesy teen drama. Blonde, hot, always talking, and a cheerleader. She even has a beefy jock for a boyfriend. I'm sensing a little bit of jealousy here, Sam. I didn't want to start talking shit about someone already, but how could I resist? Every time I get in Stacy's view, triggered an obvious backbite. I'm seriously starting to think she's under a curse that kills her if she stopped talking about someone else. I'm Stacy, I'm pretty. I'm starting to think one of you is from, like, a melodramatic teen drama, but I don't know if it's her. Sadly, coping with her bitchiness wasn't the hardest part of the day. Mom called me again. As far as she knows, it's just rainbows and butterflies here in Rosen Peak. I can still remember the complicated face she made when I told her that my application was accepted by Wainwright. None of us were expecting them to approve a transfer request of an 11th grader, even if she told me she understands my need to move out of the city. I really feel guilty for leaving her alone, even if it's Dad's fault our family is torn apart like this. You already used up your last runaway chance, Sam. Get your shit together. If not for you, for Mom. No thanks. Other Wainwright kids were so predictable. Their doors were already open even before I put my hand on the knob, but B's door was closed, shut, and so beautifully painted. Everyone liked him, but couldn't get him to open up. I knew there was something more behind that pretty paint, something behind his bright smile. But on the other hand, being able to hang out with him was good enough blessing for me, enough to make me want to never leave his side. Ever. Whoa. Oh, nuh-uh. I'm gonna have a heart attack playing this game. August 26th, 2006. My first Rosen Peak weekend. As the name itself gives away, the small town fits perfectly as a setting for a mystery horror genre. Oh, well. Ain't that ironic? Lush forest, endless hills, and a lake that I'm certain is hiding a couple of dead bodies. I could pay a visit to the lake one day and take some gorgeous shots. As for now, I'm just gonna leave those POI on my to-do list, which is already filled with a crazy amount of homework. I now know why youngsters of Wayrite will try their best to get as far away from school as possible after class, to escape from choking on the pressure that teachers give them. Even on weekdays, pretty girls like Stacy will have their boyfriends give them a ride, and others make use of the power of public transportation to get to the more crowded parts of town. It does feel too quiet with no one left in school, but at least I don't feel as lonely as I was when I was in San Diego. At least I don't have to watch everyone. I know, turn their faces away like I'm some kind of a demon spawn. At least I don't have to be reminded of how fucked up things can be in a single moment. Moving on won't be easy, but as long as I keep myself busy, it won't be that hard, so I wonder how I should spend this afternoon. Write you later. Love, Sam. B was always pushing his limits. Well, it was more like he was always being pushed, but he was good at it. That's why he naturally became the best quarterback of the team while maintaining a high grade for the star player. B was the best quarterback Wayrite could ask for. Seeing him running all sweaty on the field always triggered something tingly within me. Something that made me want to catch him behind his back and never let go. SB. There's something wrong with this girl. All sorts of feelings and thoughts were pumped restlessly into my brain with every heartbeat. That's an interesting choice of words there, Sam. Gave me a bad headache. A good kind of headache. I wanted it to stop. I wanted it to never stop. But as soon as B gave me that, hey, all those headaches were washed away. It used to be the best prescription I could ask for. Take away the pain, and let only the good things stay. Nope. No thanks. Alright, so this one's 5 days after the last one. August 31st, 2006. For a boarding school, Wayrite intellectuals are not that interested in becoming intelligent. I visited the library for Miss Lasley's book assignment today, and 2 things surprised me. 1, the place was much bigger than the one in my old school. Someone could get lost in here. 2, I had a strong feeling that people rarely visit the library, maybe because they feared getting lost in there. The place was too clean. Even the books showed little signs of human touch. I wonder if Stacy is even thinking of picking a book. With her admiring her boyfriend Kyle's tattoo all day, I doubt she has spare time to do that. Is she depending on Kyle to do all the reading for her? Seriously? According to what I saw so far, he's either busy reacting to whatever's coming out of Stacy's mouth or working up some shenanigans with his jock buddy, Brian. Was it? So, yeah, right. In the meantime, I should be more concerned about myself than the well-being of the whole school. Okay. So I think these letters are like past, and then there's what we're reading now is like the now, or the aftermath. I see. Open those eyes, no need for words. The sweetest love songs those eyes utters. That doesn't rhyme. So turn around and sing for me. Whoa. Nope. Oh my god. don't actually know what I'm supposed to do here. Um. So... What the fuck? Whew. There's a stick. Mm-hmm. There you go. Oh my god. That scare really got me the first time. Oh, my soul. I miss him, even when I'm with him. I see him, even when he's not looking. Can we not? September 4th, 2006. Visited the library again. A bit more people than before. And among them was Brian. It's not worth a bother, but seeing a major skank's boyfriend Bud wandering around in a library is uncanny by anyone's standards. He must have been there to pick the book for Miss Lasley's assignment. I almost got too close to him trying to see what he was going to pick. I really hope he didn't notice that. I'd rather be known as a regular geek than a creepy one. Woe is me. Hate to admit, but seeing Brian at the library was today's only diary-worthy event. Probably because it's the only human interaction that didn't give me the sensation of someone talking behind my back. At least today's entry is a tad more meaningful than what I wrote yesterday. A jock in the library? Now I've seen everything. I need to revise my book options now. Write you later. Love, Sam. And one day, he will start looking for me too. Only to realize I was with him the whole time. Okay, no. Stick. September 7th, 2006. It was Mr. Kane's 9th psychology class, and he still managed to come up with another lame activity. This time, he gave each of us a mask and made us express our personalities by drawing on it. Again, this was psychology class. The last thing I want to do right now is open up to others. So, for the next 30 cringy minutes, I managed to create one of the most basic personality masks one can imagine. If my mask were a cover letter, it would start with, "I'm a people person." But it's not the dumb exercise that's bugging me right now. When the masks were being passed around, Brian, yup, him again, kinda smiled at me. It's 11 p.m. now. Why am I writing about this? It's most likely an accidental glance, but I still don't know why the very image hovered in my head for the rest of class. Okay, the rest of the day. Stupid Brian probably wanted an excuse for screwing up today's math test. Get out of my brain. Whoa. they're trying to take my toes. Only like a boogeyman under a sleeping child's bed. This is so weird. What will B remember me as? A friend? A weirdo? A liar? After all, he didn't really know me. Like, really know me. No one did. I had to put on so many masks just to survive high school. That's me. That B knew was just layers and layers of fabricated image. I could never take them off. I couldn't let anyone see how vulnerable I was. I would have been eaten alive. Worse, B would have left me completely. Even when the fragile layers wore off, I couldn't take them off. So that's all I did. Cover up the holes before anyone could peek through. Cover them up. Don't let them see my face. Find the lies. I'm about to die, I think. I'll just let it kill me. It says I have 2 viewers. Okie dokie. Just gotta be quicker next time. Go. Nope, not that one. Where am I supposed to be looking? Am I missing something? Oh my god, it catches me off guard every time. Okay, so there's one right here. There's one in here. There we go. And then I don't even know where the other one could be. Oh well. Let's do it again. Come on. Nope. definitely in the bathroom. I get so desensitized to this death thing. Okay. What? Oh my god, wait, do they move? Or is it just, do I have to get them in order? I think I have to get them in order. Yeah. Okay. Royal. Aha. Perfect. September 11th, 2006. 5 years after. I was returning some of the books I checked out when he came out of nowhere. Hey, anything worth reading? I didn't know the voice was aimed at me, but my heart was somehow already skipping a beat. Brian had to tap me on the shoulder to get my complete attention. Sam, right? I saw you going in and out of the library, he said with a buttery voice. It's not like I've been stalking you or anything. I came here from time to time to get the stupid assignment out of the way so I could focus on my games. He said he couldn't find anything interesting to read, and since all he could think of were comics, he could use some guidance. My mind was still jumbled up from the ambush. All I remember saying is, "How about Misery? Stephen King's works are always good enough to get you started." 'Cause boys like any story with blood and breaking bones, right? Oh god. The rest of the conversation went, but I'm certain he said, "See you later," at some point, and I said, "Yeah, see ya. Misery. Real nice, Sam. If Brian didn't know you were a weirdo, he does now." This game. What I did for B. All of them, because I loved him. Why couldn't he just understand? Others were nothing but poison. I was the only one who truly cared. But B didn't even appreciate the things I've done for him. I never wanted a drama. I wanted a poem like life. A tender, subtle love story, written only for his eyes. It's totally fine if no one else gets it, as long as B does. I hope B remembers our little world. Even if he forgot about it, I made him a map so he could find his way back. And I think it's a good time to come back now, B. Let's go back to our small world where all your favorite places are forever etched in my heart. Go back. September 16th, 2006. Turns out the lake does have a history of having a dead body in it. I know this because I went there. I went there because Brian took me there. What? It all happened so fast. I was outside the yard reading when Brian appeared out of nowhere again. He said, "Hey," and started telling me about how he actually enjoyed the book, and how he never read the same book twice in his life. And since he was heading out, he offered to give me a tour of the town. 10 minutes later, we were passing Joe's Diner, home of the world-famous pancakes, says Brian. There was also an arcade across the diner. Brian hates the place because it's teeming with 10-year-olds. The donut shop was Brian's must-go-to place, too. Unlike the music store, which, according to him, seriously needs to restock. I found my own POI, A bookstore. It was weird seeing a bookstore and a gym standing side by side, though. At the end of the tour, I finally got to taste that sweet pancake Brian worshipped. Out the window, I could see the weird, gigantic hill that was also visible from my dorm room. Brian revealed that he had a secret base of some kind there. He jokingly said he could take me there when I'm cool enough. After dinner, Brian dropped me off at the bus station and drove off to meet up with his friends. I was exhausted but hyped up beyond my limits. I can't sleep. How can I when the whole day just feels like a dream? Mark your favorite spots. Joe's Diner. Ah. It's a heart. Also, what was the third one? Hay started telling me how he had actually enjoyed the book. The donut shop. Welcome in, Sin. Is that the donut shop? I miss Morning Dew Donut Shop. B never shut up about its donuts. They did taste sweet. Just like B's heart. Each bite was another memory to savor. I have said it before, twice now, and I'll say it again. I think there's something wrong with Sam. But just like a donut, it had an expiration date. It turned cold and bitter. I miss its warmth. I miss its sweetness. I need it. I need to eat it up. I miss its warmth. Okay. Whoa, whoa. Is it not? A key. Oh. The drawer needs a key. September 25th, 2006. The golems just obliterated the hammerheads today. I now know why they say Brian and Kyle are more than buds. I would have called them an awesome duo too if only Kyle wasn't an assload of a douche. I mean, the guy has his name tattooed on his arm. Call me old-fashioned, but I think you should go to the hospital and get that ego checked out, because it must be swollen huge. You know, I'm not, like, that is kinda ridiculous. At least he leaves me alone, other than giving me that creepy stare when I pass by. I understand how Stacy can keep hanging out with him, but Brian? They do say we sometimes become friends with those who are at the opposite end, so maybe it's not such a weird thing. For me, the real win was the photos I took of Brian. Watch out for Sam Holt, the rising teenage stalker. Bringing the Polaroid camera I bought years ago during my camera geek phase seems like a good idea now. I know I promised myself to stay away from people, stay away from the drama, but when I look at Brian and he talks to me, it feels like maybe, just maybe, it's okay to have a little drama for myself. I'm not ready to divine what this feeling is, but for now I'm going to label it as looking for a shoulder to cry on, and just shove it under my bed like the pictures I took today. I hated every moment I was not with B. I was helpless. Every day I wanted to call him, just so we could chat. But I was afraid of what Brian would think of it. It could even hurt his reputation. When I finally worked up the nerve to call, all I could do was listen to him say, "Hello." That was as far as our late-night phone call chit-chat could go. I hung up wondering if he knew who was on the other end of the line. I remember the strong, burning sensation that came every time I called him. That red, fiery sensation. Red. Give me that back. Nope. Can I not use it? So fucking red. Red everywhere. This is getting out of hand. What the fuck? Finish what you started. I could assume I need to do something more with this. Is there something over here? Oh. Well, you know. Could assume I have to go into the bathroom. Sam, can you stop opening my fucking window? Oh my god. Yo. What the fuck? I might actually die if I keep playing this game. Sam, meet me at Colton Hill. You know where to find me. I heard little tippy-tappies of feet behind me. Wilson, you are the only person here, so, I mean... Just grab my phone charger real quick. Okay. Let's do this thing. September 28th, 2006. Due date for Miss Lasley's book report is right around the corner, and I'm still not finished. Only if I wasn't so disturbed. Normally I wouldn't bother reading a teen romance story, but for some reason I thought, hey, why not? The premise for Mingled itself is pretty generic. Jenny has a huge crush on her childhood friend Michael, but she can't get Michael to think of her as more than just friends. She reaches a conclusion that it's because of all those girls around him, so she starts making a list of all the basic girls who also have a crush on Michael. What she's planning to do with this list is yet to be revealed. If I can finish reading the book by tomorrow, I'll be able to finish the report with enough time to revise. P.S. I wonder how Brian is doing with his assignments. Why am I interested? Because he's been asking for my help with some of his works, and I gladly agreed to. Why would I do that? Because, by helping Brian focus on his practices so he could bring trophies to our beloved school, it becomes safe to say I'm taking part in a bigger cause. Not like I'm doing this for personal reasons, right? Whoops. Stop messing with my window, woman. I wanted so bad to be close to Brian, so I can just lean into him and tell him my deepest desires. Or do I? You. So close that I can whisper, "Don't leave me, don't go away." Don't smile for others. Don't look away. Ew, knock it off. Knock it off. God damn it. Jesus Christ. Don't look away. I do not want to turn around. I am actually sweating. Oh my god. Well, I've been streaming for an hour and a half already. October 6th, 2006. Stacy invited everyone to the late post victory party at her place this Friday. Weird that she told me this at the hallway herself. The sudden act of courtesy was enough to leave me frozen, but to think of it, a self-conscious beauty queen like Stacy would love showing off how tolerant she could be. I'd prefer celebrating quietly in my room, but since the party is practically being held for Brian, I thought it would be sorta rude of me to not be there. He was nothing but nice to me since I met him, so the least I could do is show up. Plus, I could probably witness the face Stacy makes when she sees I actually had the nerve to show up. Maybe, just maybe, I could even piss her off if I managed to strike a conversation with Brian. An Omega hanging out with an Alpha, Kyle would be busy comforting Stacy, fuming about how I mess up her ecosystem. No pressure, Sam. Just clean drinks and hopefully some casual talk with Brian. What could possibly go wrong? Like staring into closed eyes, I never knew if B knew I was looking at him. Did he even know I was there? Maybe he knew, but simply didn't care. The only thing looking back is my decaying sanity. I wanted to look away so much, but what's the point when the stench is still there? I started to think the only way to get B's attention was to throw myself off Colton Hill. How did I come so low? All I wanted was a chance to show how I feel about B without any noise getting in the way. No matter what happens next, it would at least give me some sort of closure and peace. Brian was super likable. Everyone liked everything about him. They couldn't stop smiling when Brian started talking. They made me want to puke. They smile as if their relationships with Brian mean anything. And yet, I was the only one left with a broken heart when he left Rosen Peak. B was so determined about leaving that being a star player wasn't enough for him. B needed to be a fucking model student. Nothing says pick me to college admission like a spotless student record. He can't just shake up my whole world and leave. God damn it. Shit. My God. October 7th, 2006. Oh man. Everything's gone wrong. All my senses are screaming in pain. I don't even remember drinking any booze. The pain only escalated the moment Brian texted me. You feeling okay? No, I was not okay. And why is Brian asking me this? Did I do something to him? According to Brian, I went from being quiet to crazy, happy, and cute. In his words, not mine. Real quick. I was so close to being the center of the party that he had to bring me back to the dorm. Why can't I remember any of them? Congrats, Sam. You've reached a new low in life. Shit, is this it? Is this how I die? I sincerely asked Brian if there was a good place to kill myself. He said, maybe now's a good time to show you my secret hideout, since I passed the test by showing the whole school a different me. Is he seriously going to take me to his Colton Hill hideout? Tomorrow I'm going to the so-called most romantic place in Rosen Peak with Brian. There's something in my head that's keeping me awake, and it's not a hangover. What's this? Suicide suspected in death of missing teenager. The girl of 17 who was found dead at Colton Hill likely ended her own life, police says. Sam Holt, a transfer student of Wayrite Academy, had been reported missing for 6 days until Rosen Peak authorities discovered her body in the forest. Due to days of heavy rain around the time of her death, the investigation on Miss Holt's death faced a few challenges. However, interviews with the school's faculty members and its student led to the possibility that she threw herself off the cliff of Colton Hill after months of rejection from her peers. She was rarely seen with others, says one of her former teachers. She was even publicly humiliated just before her disappearance. It must have worked as the tipping point for her. Rosen Peak Police says the fall did not kill Sam instantly. It is possible she gasped for air through her broken neck before dying. Wayrite Academy now faces suspicion of neglecting its students, led by the mother of Miss Holt. You there, son? Oh my god. Yeah, my fault, guys. I did see what happens. I just was looking at chat. Not that I'm really missing anything. There ain't nobody here. October 8th, 2006. Oh my god. Brian actually took me to Colton Hill. The hideout Brian mentioned had a wonderful view of the small town. The whole place under the golden sunset. The best part of the spot was that it is quite hidden and unsafe. You could You could easily roll down the hill if you were careless or drunk, and no one could find you for days. How awesome is that? Being drunk with that wonderful moment didn't cause any accident, though. We sat there for less than an hour, but it felt like an eternity. I can't even remember what we talked about. I do remember saying how beautiful Rosen Peak is, and Brian being all meh about it. I guess you could get fed up with the views like this, too. Today's only regret is that I failed to bring the true essence of the hill's view back with me. There's a reason why I gave up photography as a hobby in the first place. At least the close-up shot of Brian was not half as bad. When I came back down from the hill, it became clear that my life just became a little more messed up now. I know because I really want to talk to Brian again, soon. Help me get to sleep quickly today, diary. Love, Sam. All of life's problems. Colton Hill, our sanctuary. I wished it could be our special place. Ours and ours only. Colton Hill is nothing but a rock pile of blood-soaked memories now. Why did he have to break my fucking heart? Was I just one of his many friends? Maybe that's it. That's why he wanted to leave, even after I told him we won't be together anymore. He thought he was too good for Rosen Peak, and me. To him, I was just a background in his picture. You don't deserve a face. October 10th, 2006. The book report was finished days ago, but I can't stop thinking about Mingled. Mostly because my stupid brain thinks I'm sorta like the main character, Jenny. To summarize the rest of the book, Jenny goes on this jealousy-fueled sabotage rampage on every girl who has a crush on Michael. I know it sounds horrible without context, but it's actually kinda cute. She finally stands up on top, but Michael finds out what she's done. He breaks Jenny's heart, saying he can't be sure of who she is anymore. Things work out in the end, but that's not why I sympathize with the dorky psycho girl. Brian is just like Michael. Popular, has killer biceps, busy hanging out with people. I can't see what he wants because of all the noise around him. I know he wants to go to college, but what about beyond the boring stuff? What kind of person does he like? What does he think about me? He told me about his mom, how she died of cancer last year. It must have been so hard trying to look okay in front of everyone who's depending on him. I sometimes feel like he can't see me because he's so busy trying to meet everyone's expectations. I know how those around us can be hurtful, and it's dangerous to rely on them so much. I just wish I could tell Brian one day that I'm here for him. What the fuck is happening? Oh, please don't do this to me, game. Brian got what he wanted in the end. He left Rosen Peak as soon as he was given the chance. As for me, I was left to suffocate in a hole of tainted memories until I drown in my own endless nightmare. Don't leave me. Every day, every night, I'm surrounded by whispers. Whispers that lie. Whispers that eat away my brain piece by piece, no matter how hard I try to. Oh God, I hear them again. You're a selfish little shit. All your problems are caused by you. It's all your fault. Whoa. Results are in. It looks like you still have your eyes closed shut. Then keep them shut. How long will you last this time? It's getting worse. The fucking shithole town left a disgusting crack on my heart. October 13th, 2006. Miss Lasley gave us an easy poetry assignment for once. She said it's okay to make a parody of the classics as long as we stick to the ABCB rhyme. So I took the liberty of letting my imagination go ABCB berserk. Here is a slight taste of my early work. Call me Shakespeare. Wait, is it Holtzspear? Or call me Sam Spear. Wait, is it Holtzspear? Roses are red, violets are blue. My life would have sucked if it wasn't for you. I could have waited for Brian to ask for my help with homework again, but I decided to make the first move this time. And guess what? He said he could handle it alone. Call me paranoid, but I'm worried I might have hurt Brian's pride. That's what happens when Sam opens her idiot mouth or uses her idiot brain. P.S. I've decided to carry my diary in my bag. The doors in the girls' dorm are way too easy to open. Not as easy as Stacy, though, if you know what I mean. I even saw one of the girls using a notepad to crack her door open. Besides, I have this weird hunch someone's been reading my diary. I've decided not to ignore this hunch. And it's getting bigger and bigger. The voices I hear from the crack are getting louder and louder. I see more and more eyes staring at me through the gap. When I ran out of places to run, I only had one solution. Now my memories are scattered all over the dark, and I must look for them in the dark. What the hell? That chuckle is so creepy. Oh, I'm taking photos of him. What the hell? Where the fuck am I? Ah. God damn it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That was literally him. They keep me so warm, like endless sun rays. Oh my god, I hate poetry. I cherish your smile, I indulge in your gaze. They keep me so warm. They keep me so warm, like endless sun rays. I hate poetry. October 20th, 2006. With Brian preparing for a rematch with the Hammerheads, I once again gladly gave him a hand with the non-important homework stuff. I must say, the teachers here don't give their poor students a break just because the test is over. It's not like I'm burdened with helping out, but Brian is really trying hard to get good grades. From what I heard, he doesn't have much to worry about going to college since he's practically a local football star. Maybe his pushy police chief dad raised him to be an overachiever. It's funny how a model athlete like Brian got friends like Kyle who always find excuses to pull him out of school. It's unfair, really, as long as you're a sports star, you'll end up with douches like him no matter how nice of a person you are. I don't speak with Kyle much, but I don't need conversation to know what he's like. First of all, his girlfriend is frickin' Stacy Lannings. The stare he gives me when I pass by is enough to creep me out for the whole day. I would be lucky if Stacy didn't come along and start yapping about Brian is out of my league. She has Kyle to play with, so why would she even care? Like, ask your boyfriend out for a drive. Jeez. Have a nice life with him so Brian can stay out of the poison he does not deserve. Whoa. No thanks. No thanks, no thanks, no thanks. Actually, give me just 1 second. Let me do something that might help with the watching. Alright, awesome. Cool. There we go. I hope everything in the stream is going well. This is the first time I've streamed since, you know. Alright. God, just let me get back to... My god, stop calling me. She's behind me. I still have no reflection. I'm a ghost. What the fuck are you smiling at? Is that a... What the hell? Hey, where are you going? Sir? Come back. Whoa! Ooh. Can we not? What the fuck happened to the house? It's messed up. Hey, I mean, but at least the lights are back on. Alright, let's see. October 23rd, 2006. There was a consulting session for a Greenheart College student programs at the gym today. I've seen its posters all over the school since the day I arrived. I had nothing better to do, so I decided to give a visit and spend my precious after-school time reading brochures. And once again, just like at the library, I was surprised to see Brian there. He was at the early decision program booth. I wanted to talk to him, but instead I ran from my room, jumped into my bed, and out of nowhere, tears started to drop. I bet it was because of those stupid hearts. Yep, I saw those hearts again. Now, they were on the gym walls, too. At first, I thought whoever drew them must be very insecure about the relationship, but the truth is, I wish I had a relationship to be insecure about, too. Deep down, I know I want my own hearts on the walls, too, but seeing Brian at the college booth felt like finally getting punched by a reality I have no idea what I'll be doing in a couple of years. I thought of staying here at Rosen Peak, but with Brian preparing to leave, there's just no point to it. No Brian, no hearts on the wall. God, it's like my brain's creating a storm. I'm just gonna lie down for a bit. Hopefully I wake up next week. I wake up without waking up. Same rainy night. My lifeless room. Endless nightmare. My life is nothing but a repetition of waking up with nothing to live for. Not even a false hope to look forward to this time. Long time ago, I finally got to accept my feelings for Brian. I thought everything was going to change, but every day was still just like every day. He was still a school star. I was still just his friend. When you live in Rosen Peak, people expect things to stay the same. If anything changed between us, it could ruin B and everything around him. So that's how it went. Nothing changed when my whole world burned. I kept telling myself maybe after graduation I'll be able to express my feelings for him. I let the fire in my heart eat through my soul and body. I called myself a coward. But I chose to keep what little I had to enjoy. I was a poor kid, crawled up in bed. Poor? Do I really deserve that charity title? Am I really the victim of all this? Who is here to judge me anyway? It's all over. Everyone left me. So why do I feel like I'm being chased? Like someone's always watching me. Like someone's always trying to judge me. How did the invite go? Is she in or not? Oh, she's coming. Dorks like her can't say no to parties like this. Sweet. Time to give her the drama she wants so bad. It's because of her. The moment she came into our lives, what little I had to enjoy started to crumble. November 2nd, 2006. I know I used half of this diary writing about Stacy being a bitch, but now she's just unstable. I wasn't even past the first class when I saw her arguing like a crazy with Kyle. Heard her shouting something like, "I'm done doing shit for you," before storming away. Then she saw me. I was her next target. She strutted towards me and said, "This is all your fault. Why don't you go back to fucking San Diego?" Whoa, what did I do? She was off before I could even open my mouth. I turned to Kyle for answers, but he was gone too. Come to think of it, I rarely saw them hanging out recently, but I didn't know things were this intense. Brian's been acting weird too, though. He hasn't talked to me much recently. He even looks somewhat more upset than usual. I finally tried to ask him what was wrong, but he cut me short, asking if I called him last night again. All I could give was a blank face until Brian said, "Never mind," and walked away. What was that about? What did he mean by again? Calling him in the middle of the night for no reason is something I've dreamed of, but that doesn't mean I actually did it. What the hell is going on? Only bad changes happen in my life, no matter how hard I try to protect it. A city girl, just asking to become an outsider. That was all she was to me. Hell, that was all she was to everyone else. But then, I saw them talking at the library. I couldn't see clearly, but I could tell what was going on. He was making her smile. It was another smile taunting my feelings for B. No one would ever know what kind of emotions I was hit with on that moment. A change was happening, and I didn't like it at all. Stacy didn't like it either. And she could never stand letting an easy social prey slip away from her. Naturally, Stacy took a peek into her diary one day. She took pictures of some of the entries and sent them to me and her gang. She wanted everyone to join her twisted and childish game. The diary had no special meaning to me, not until I read about how Brian took that cunt on a fucking tour of town. He had no interest in girls whatsoever. Suddenly now he's hanging out with an outsider? At that moment I got tired of doing nothing. I knew I had to do something, so I gave Stacy an idea. It was going to be easy, an easy spike. It was going to be easy. Spike her drink, get her wasted, and humiliate the shit out of her in front of everyone. Only then would she know her place. It could have been so simple, only if B didn't get in the way. Bummer. I was hoping to do nasty stuff to her drunk ass. Still can't believe Brian had to take her away like that. Well, bitches like Sam does tend to make some people feel sorry. She did mention something about her dad in her diary. Bet she has some nasty daddy issues too. I know. How about we show everyone how needy a bitch can be? Sounds fun. But how? I completely missed reading that last one. November 6th, 2006. What the fuck is going... I don't even know how to describe what happened this morning. This is fucked up. My hands are shaking again. It started when I opened my locker, and something poured out. For a few seconds, my brain was cut off from whatever was happening. When I finally looked down, there were dozens of pictures scattered on the hallway floor. All of them were pictures of Brian with gibberish written on them. The whole school was at the hall. They looked at the pictures, then at me, then at the pictures. Brian was there too. The face he gave me, the face of disgust. He turned away and left. He didn't even say anything. I tried to chase him, say something, anything to him, but the floor started spinning and people started whispering, like they knew what was going on. The air soon began to choke my throat. I swept what was on the floor and ran off to class. Of course, Stacy must have something to do with this. I looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. The rest of the day was about nothing but avoiding eye contact with anyone. I can't sleep. Brian's not answering any of my texts. There's no one to talk to. B. Kept saying nothing was going on between them. Lies. But I wasn't about to believe everything was just fine. How could you? In my eyes, Sam was using Brian to fill her sad, empty life. I couldn't let that happen. She wanted drama she didn't deserve. She deserved shit. She doesn't get to barge in and start stealing the life I've only dreamed of. Stacy kept doing what she does best, digging into others' secrets. She sent pictures of the little shit's diary pages to me. That's how I found out about the little trip to Colton Hill. It was our hideout since the first year of high school, and her presence fucking turned it into nothing. How could B do this to us? The only way to break them apart was to show Brian what a creep she was. I kept reading the disgusting words she wrote on her diary. At the same time, I felt something. A reminder of how I felt when I fell for B. How it felt so right and terribly wrong. Screaming into my pillow never helped with making the feelings go away. Did you find the diary yet? Babe, I think you're taking this too seriously. Did you find it or not? I think she knows I'm sneaking into a room. I can't find it anywhere. Babe, don't you think you're getting a little too obsessed with breaking them up? You're bailing on me now? Forget it! Please, babe. Maybe Brian doesn't even like the girl. I said forget it. So tired. November 7th, 2006. The school counselor called me today. Mr. Ferns asked me if the rumors were true. Rumors that I've been leaving heart drawings all over school. Rumors that I've been stalking Brian. At this point, the whole school must be out of its mind. I didn't even know the letters in the fucking heart spelled S and B. And what, just because the initials are S and B, suddenly every name that starts with them are either Sam or Brian? I guess what's even crazier words are on the street. The Sam Holt, the daughter of a sex offender, craves forbidden love. How on earth did Stacy find out about my dad? And why would she do so much to fuck up my life? And where the fuck is she? Is she? You know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of waiting for Brian to listen to me. I'm tired of looking for words that describe this fucked up situation. I can't believe I have to go through this again, so far from home, and so soon. Brian, please say something. Then I remembered. She wrote something about her dad. It must have had something to do with her existence in my life. I started digging. It wasn't even a challenge. Keith Holt, arrested for sexually assaulting a teenager. It was beautiful. I found the perfect ending. All I had to do next was fill in the rest of the story. Sam Holt calls Brian from a payphone in the middle of the night and silently listens to his voice. How did Sam's dad even get married? He likes little girls, doesn't he? Maybe Sam's mom used to be the pervert's victim? Gina Hansen. Sam Holt takes Brian's picture and keeps them hidden in her locker. Mike Koski. This Sam girl's got some balls. Everyone's talking about her pervy dad, and she's still showing up to class? Respect. Sam Holt draws hearts all over the school to let others know Brian is hers. Brenda Johns. Oh my god. How could Sam Holt not kill herself? If my dad went on the news for touching teens, that's bye-bye world for me, lol. A needy city girl with a huge hole to fill. A hole left by her sweet old daddy. She was just a disaster waiting to happen. No one, even Brian, would think otherwise. I made all the preparations while Stacy spread the rumors I created. It wasn't easy. I almost got caught taking a picture of Brian using the restroom, but I kept going. Every picture I took was a love confession I could never make. Every heart I drew was my sacrifice for him. When enough suspicion piled up on Sam, I stuffed all the pictures into her locker. It was a happy coincidence that B was there to see the spectacular unfold when it happened. It was over. Things were about to turn back to normal. And then, Stacy's drama-filled head exploded. Hide, coward. I think I understand. Be able to live again. Maybe you you can run forever. JK, you're gonna die. I'm done watching you get away with the shit you've done to me. Do you really think I wouldn't find out what's going on? I know you've been using me to break Sam and Brian apart so you can have some fun with her. Well, I had my share of fun when I told Brian what you've been doing. You should have seen the face he made when I got the part about you drawing those retarded hearts all over the school. Hope you enjoy your happy life now that there's no Brian to get in your way. Oh, and by the way, I saw you staring at that college poster. Did you like the girl in the poster too? Is that why you tore her face off? You needed help. And don't bother calling me Stacy. Please, man. Stacy got it all wrong. It's just a misunderstanding. It's a meaningless prank, that's all. Please, B, don't do this. Text me back, please. The day Stacy told Brian was the last day he talked to me. He was so angry at me. He would never understand what I did for him. Typical. So fucking typical. Again, I was left alone to suffer. This time, someone had to pay for it. K and S. This game is getting really interesting. Waiting for someone? Kyle? What are you doing here? You just can't stay away from him, can you? You know you don't deserve him. I don't know what you're talking about. Our lives are ruined because of you. Hey, don't come any... Is this the stick from earlier? Or do I have to find a way to get it? Yeah, I think that's what it is. I have to find some way to grab it. God, this game went from, like, scary to actually interesting. This story is so cool. Oh. Stick, it's right there. So we're playing as Kyle then. Sam, meet me at Colton Hill. You know where to find me. Sam's property. Keep out. October 13th, 2006, October 20th, October 23rd, November 6th, November 2nd, November 7th. Brian, please say something. It was an accident. I never meant to kill her. Or maybe I did. Did I? But does it matter now? Did any of what I did matter? I left the team soon after what happened at Colton. After that, the school. From what I've heard, Brian easily got accepted to the college. He left town right after graduation. The fact that he's a star athlete with a notable school record worked like a charm. He's been growing the idea of leaving Rosen Peak since his mom died. Living alone with his obnoxious dad didn't help much with being attached to his hometown. He kept his plan mostly a secret. He hated the attention he was getting as a star who lost his mom. If people found out his plan, they would surely be talking about it too. But he didn't hint about leaving, and I tried so hard to ignore what it meant for me. Even those college posters all over the school were laughing at me. They were making fun of my impending doom. They were all saying, "Haha, you see, you're going to die alone here." Maybe I knew. I knew that Bea took an interest in Sam because she was just a clueless new girl, and that she was lonely enough to do anything for a guy who was nice to her. But jealousy is a strong creature. It quickly devoured my mind. Soon, anger took control of me. And I just needed someone to be mad at other than Brian. Even after he left me, anger stayed. It still haunts me in my sleep, and every time I open my eyes, it just gets worse, and again. It's time to wake up. But wake up for what? To be greeted by the fact that I must start running around in circles again, and stick needles into my body so I can forget my past for a few fucking minutes. It's just like the story about Miss Lasley once told us. It's just like that story Miss Lasley once told us about. The shortest horror story in the world. The last man on Earth heard a knock on the door. I'm alone in my room. I'm alone in this world. There's someone knocking on the door. I don't know who it is, but I keep the door locked. No one comes in. No one gets out. I'm so tired. I just want it to end. Let's just wake up. Let's just open the door. I don't care who or what's waiting for me. But what about my diary? The one I've been keeping to remind myself how I'm the victim of everything that's happened? I don't know what I would do without it. What will keep me from going insane? So here comes the big question. Should I keep it? No. It's time to admit. I've been keeping a memory of lies. I'm the only one to blame for the shit I had to deal with. It's about time I burned it. But what after that? I could open the door out of here, face whatever's waiting for me, or I could just stay with the fire and let it go. Whatever the choice, it's time to light the fire. death of Sam Holt, initially reported as a suicide, was shed a new light by her former classmate. Kyle Jenkins confessed he was with Miss Holt when she fell to her death on Colton Hill in 2006. According to the shocking revelation, the 14-year-old transfer, and I didn't get to read the rest, but I'll read it off of the replay. According to the shock revelation, the 14-year-old transfer student from San Diego was involved in a heated confrontation with Miss Jenkins due to something. Wow. That... Wow. That was an extremely good game. Wow. I most definitely think that that is probably... Yeah. That was a really good game. And it, so was it implying that Kyle was gay at the end? Like he was gay and he wanted Brian to himself? So, I mean, so what I kind of thought was it was Brian reading some kind of old, like, diary from Sam, but apparently not. That was really good. Like, I'm a huge fan of that. Now, got 2 hours and 25 minutes. I definitely think that, like, God, that's such an interesting plot twist. But yeah, so, that was Love Sam by Korean Linguistics Lab. I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun streaming it. Hope you guys had a good time watching it. And I hope it wasn't too boring, you know, watching me read for 2.5 hours, basically. But, so this whole, streaming thing, probably, I'm gonna keep doing it for as long as I can, but I am, newly enlisted in the Army, and whenever June comes around, I'll be out for a couple of months. I don't know when I'll be able to start doing this again. I definitely have a want to continue doing it, but I don't know how that'll come together with my career and everything. So yeah, I have a whole bunch more games planned to play, and all that. I don't know, I might stream tomorrow? Or something. Who knows? But I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good night.